So basically, I was taking an Uber to pick up some food. And I tweeted and I said, bro, my Uber driver will not stop hitting on me and asking for my number, and he refuses to take no for an answer. And literally at this moment, as I'm tweeting it, we're also zooming through the highway and 20 minutes from my destination, and I'm just so uncomfortable. Which, just fucking facts, okay? Shit was just, I have never been in a situation that uncomfortable. Like, will an Uber driver hit on you or like kind of push the boundary a bit? Sure, maybe sometimes. But for them to have the gall, the absolute audacity to ask for your number as you're paying them for a service, and then when you say no, just like keep pushing, like I didn't know what to do because I had just never been in that situation. As like in particular, because they're driving, like we're literally zooming through the highway right now, and you're pressuring me to give you my number. There's just something a little bit frightening about that, or like not well, kind of frightening, but mainly debilitating might be the word, where you're like, I don't know what to do. I do not want to die, please. Like that's it. I do not want to die, please. You know? Some other things that I didn't quite mention in my tweets. So I said, oh, yeah. Okay, so here's basically what happened. I have no reason to go out ever. So even though I was just going to pick up food, I was taking an Uber to pick up food. I put on this like floral dress. I could show you the shit right now. It goes to my knees. You know, it's not like short, but I was wearing a floral dress and my mask, obviously. And he starts off the convo and he's like, hey, like, are you going on a date? And I'm like, nope. And he's like, haha, no way. Like, look at you in that dress showing off your legs. It's like, you in the front seat, I'm in the back seat. How the fuck you looking at my legs? Also, this was not like a short, you know, like it was like it just wasn't like a super short dress. It was like, congrats, you can see my knees. What is it? The 1950s? Like, are you good? But I kind of just tried to brush it off as like, oh, he's just like making cringe small talk. And then he's like, you're sure you're not going on a date? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to pick up food for me and my friends. And he's like, I don't remember the exact like order of the cringe that he said, but I do remember the cringe that he said. And then he just kept asking me questions about my life. And then he's like, aren't these masks so weird, like crazy? And he looks back at me. And he looks, and he looks back, and he looks, and he's like, I can't even see your face. And I was like, haha, yeah, it's kind of like, you know, I said some shit like, it's like the new way of things. Oh my god, this part is really embarrassing. Actually, I didn't tweet about it. Just remembering it is cringe. Okay, so he made that comment about the masks, and he's like, between us, like, if you want to take it off, I don't mind at all. Go ahead. And I gotta be honest, it's not the first time an Uber driver has said that to me. And I was like, I don't want to take off my mask. Like, we're disease, sir. Pandemic, sir. But I don't want to be crazy about, like, it feels like I'm rejecting the guy who's driving me across the fucking highway right now, which is just not a situation I want to be in, because y'all know sometimes you just don't know, like certain guys, rejection really snowballs into them just being pissed. I'm not trying to piss off the driver. So I was trying to like creatively figure out a way out of this situation. Like, how do I tell him I don't want to take off my mask, but without being rude? Like, without being like, fuck you, I don't want to take off my mask. I don't know you. Like, and so my mind, what I said was, I'm so ass at lying. I was like, oh, like, sorry, it's really fastened on there. What does that even mean? He was like, really? He was like, how does that work? Because even he knew that was bullshit. It's like, what do you mean? I haven't heard of that before. And I was like, yeah, I just tie it really tight. Oh my god. I was trying to fucking matrix my way out of not like straightforwardly rejecting him. It's like, it's just really like I couldn't take off my mask if I tried really hard. I just make it really tight. And he, bro, it was just like, oh, okay, like, I hope it doesn't hurt or something. I was like, yeah, I'm good. And then he's like, Gorilla glued it on. Yes! I should have said that shit. I Gorilla glued my mask on. Sorry, sir. But I mean, like, it kind of tried. Like, what is he gonna say? Like, it doesn't look that tight. I'm like, no, like, it's really on there. He's in the front seat. He's not gonna hop up in the back and check. I mean, he might. He kind of crazy, but anyways. So he goes, one more question. Wasn't his last question. I was like, sup? He says, how do I meet girls? I'm sorry, is this Dr. Poki? Because I don't do this shit for free. Jokes. But, like, why are you asking me? What? And I was like, I dead ask, I was like, I wish I knew, as if I'm looking for myself. I wish I could tell you, it's kind of hard to date in LA. And with the pandemic, like, you can't really go places to meet people in person. So I said, you should try dating apps. Duh. And he goes, no, like, that's bullshit. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, what the fuck do you want from me, man? And he's like, are you on dating apps? And I was like, no. But dead ass, it's kind of like, I just get banned off of them anyways. Like, there's nothing wrong with dating apps. But I didn't want to get into that aspect of it. Can you imagine? I start going, well, actually, the reason I'm not on them is because, well, I usually get banned, and this is what the fuck are you doing to get banned? And then we just have to, whole can of worms, I'm not finna open. So, so I just tell him, like, no, I'm not on any of them, period. And he goes, see, all the good women aren't on dating apps, and I'm looking for, like, a good one. And I was like, I'm melting of cringe. I'm melting. And I'm trying to remember what else. I think around this time was when the conversation had just gotten, oh, yeah, that, and then after that dating app thing is when he asked for my number. He said some shit like, well, like, maybe we can be friends. Can I have your number? And I was like, no thanks. And he was like, come on, like, we could just, like, hang out or something, or you could, like, help me get girls, or blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, how do I say no thanks? And you still... Why? And I was just like, I was so unsure what to do that I pretended I couldn't hear him. I did not, like, physically, I was, you guys saw what I did with the fucking mask being fastened on. Like, my brain just ran out of creative juices of, like, how do I say no without pissing him off or making him respond weirdly? And so I was like, can't respond to something you don't hear. So I just kind of fucking send Sid my Uber info, and I'm like, dog, if any weird shit happens to me, beep boop bop boop boop. Period. I didn't mention this on Twitter also because because I didn't want to seem big-headed for it. However, I take Ubers so infrequently that when I do, I opt to get an Uber SUV because a lot of them have the screen in between the front and the back, which is like further COVID protection, right? I know, Uber SUV, haha, whatever, okay? It's specifically because of COVID and because I know a lot of those cars, it's just like it feels kind of safer. I literally take an Uber once every 3 weeks. So I'm like, why don't I spend a little bit more that one time I might be in contact with someone? Okay, stop Poki clouding me. So I mentioned that just to say that, like, this was like one of the higher tier Ubers where you literally say, like, I prefer not to speak. And this weird shit still happens. And then when I came back home, I gave him a 1 star, but I was concerned. I don't know. Some people were like, report him or like call Uber support or blah, blah. And I was like, what if he finds out it's me and like he knows where I live now? So, you know. So I just gave him the bad review and dipped. Yeah. I don't know. I don't want any trouble. So yeah. Anyways, that was my Uber driver story. Oh, also, I tweeted after when I was home. I was like, I'm okay. Thanks for asking. Sorry if I worried anyone. Because I didn't think anybody would care, in the sense that, like, it made me question whether or not I should have tweeted that publicly. I was just stressing. So, yeah. I hope it's not like a bad thing to share. If anything, maybe it like gives some insight into some of the situations that you can get into. It's spooky. You forgot the part where you punched him, Poki. The world doesn't need to know about that. Imagine the driver is in the chat and they actually know you're Pokimane and was playing dumb but really a major fan. No. 0% chance. Because he didn't speak to me as such. I'm pretty sure. Also, yeah, I paused
Owly
donos.
for you so donated sorry. $5. You're the best.
Thanks. I mean, not really, but like yes, really thanks, but not really to being the best, but thanks. Yeah, it was just sus. Damn, why is that so loud?